light and it's shining through. They say you're beautiful and damn it's true. You know I wouldn't wanna lie to you, so trust me when I say, yeah, 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 yeah. I found love and I live for you. Yeah, 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 yeah. I found love and it's all for you. Wanna run into the dark with you, light it up and let it start anew. We'll find the spark inside my dying soul. Just stay with me until we're growing old. Got the light and it's shining through. They say you're beautiful and damn it's true. You know I wouldn't wanna lie to you, so trust me when I say, love and I live for you. Yeah, 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 yeah. I found love and it's all for you. I found
Hey guys, how's it going? Glad to see you here. Glad you could join us on the stream today. And we're gonna go ahead, give you guys a minute to join. Oh, I don't have that slide. But yeah, we can just add, I'll go back. I forgot about that slide. What, Lulu? My dogs are right below me. Let's give people a minute to log on here. And let's just ask. I want to add. There we go. Where are you watching from? Put your answers in the chat. I want to get to know you guys. Last time I did one of these things, I got a new friend on Pokemon Go, so, you know, we can still become friends even though we are interacting via the remote. Let's make that white. Cool. Yeah, let me know where you're watching from. Put your answers in the chat. And we will get started in just a couple minutes here.
I could swear that I'm fainting. I think I'm losing my sight. I swear I'm hitting the floor. I could swear that my stomach just sunk a meter. I'll be dead if I take any more. You make me feel kinda bad, kinda good, kinda everything, yet it doesn't feel like it should. You make me feel kinda wrong, kinda right, kinda anything, and I would change it if I could.
Seriously, where are you guys tuning in from? Let me know. How many of you guys are here from DevPoint Labs? Throw a hi in the chat if you're here from DevPoint Labs. Let me know how you heard about this stream tonight. Oh, welcome, Roderick. Glad you could join. Just a little bit farther north than me. Oh, Anthony! I want you to know that I'm in Spanish Fork. So you're pretty close. Right here in Spanish. Atiana, welcome. Feel free. Throw a hi up in the chat. Let's go ahead. We'll go ahead and stop this music. And we will go ahead and we'll get started today. I'm so glad for you guys to join. I've done this. Landon, are you in Spanish Fork too? That's where I am. I've done this before. We did this last year. And it worked, well, not last year, like last 4 months ago. Worked pretty well. We got quite a few people involved and we just want to... Hi, Mark! Glad you could join. Glad that everybody could be here. Looks like we have quite a few people on YouTube. I don't do YouTube streams that often. I usually only do Twitch streams. So for those of you who've never met me before, I know, Mark, you've met me. I'm Mariah. I have 2 dogs. They are pictured above me. I am a data engineer currently. I am also a meetup and conference organizer. I have several meetups that I help out with. And I'm also organizing a conference, a regional Golang conference. And if you haven't done Go, you should learn Go. It's the best programming language. A regional Golang conference that'll take place here and online in October. I'm live on Twitch every Friday doing Go programming. I'll say it again. Go is the best programming language. Way better than JavaScript and Rails and Python and Perl and Java and C++ and Fortran and Saigon, Vietnam? Isn't that like your bedtime? Or is it morning? Oh, it's probably morning in Saigon. Wow, that's a early morning. Anyway, you can catch me on LinkedIn, on Twitter, on Twitch. I'm happy to talk to you anytime after this event. If you continue to have questions, stuff we don't get to, if you want to find out about future meetups or events I'm doing, feel free to reach out, right? Like, this is not supposed to be me talking at you. It's very much going to be a continuing conversation as you move forward in your careers. No, Go's better than Swift. I just forgot about it. You must like iOS stuff. Go's the best. Best programming language. So, let's throw some answers up in the chat. Why did you guys choose to do boot camp? I know quite a few of you have participated in a boot camp, particularly DevPoint Labs. Why did you go there? What was your main reason for picking DevPoint Labs as the next step in your career journey? Thoughts? Responses? Questions? Can't be that scary. No? There's a little bit of a lag, so I don't know. But let's run through some thoughts here. One, to get a better job. I know a lot of people are trying to make friend transition. Yes, you could also say because your friend recommended it. Yeah, to get a better job, right? Maybe you're looking for a different job. Maybe you're trying to make a career change. Maybe you're looking to make a little bit more money. To gain a new skill set. Looks like Roderick thought about this, right? Just wanted to learn something. Looking for something that's reasonable, not that long. You can learn something new, gain new skills, move forward. Sometimes you want to get skills to help you with your current job, right? Maybe you're doing QA and you want to learn a little bit more about doing that on iOS. You want to learn a little bit more about doing that in different architectures. Maybe you're doing help desk, you're trying to learn programming. Maybe you're in marketing, you want to do a little bit of web dev. Like, you can get stuff that can help you in your current job. And then also, I mean, you can always just do it to meet new people. Everybody from DevPoint is going to be in a cohort with other people, right? That you do your homework with, that you meet, that you hang out with. I'm sure you're helping each other on projects. I did not well, Anthony said his mom made him do it, so maybe he ran to DevPoint to meet, to meet people that weren't his mom. No hard feelings there. I hang out with my mom more than anybody else, mostly because she feeds me. But yeah, I get a lot of, just reading from this chat, we get a lot of, that was a joke. I apologize. That was mean. But the chat does echo a lot of these sentiments, right? You kind of want to gain skills, you want to get a better job, change your career path, kind of move forward in that way. Well, I'm here to tell you that one, starting out in a boot camp's a great place to start. You're not done in your journey, and working with a community is really going to help you accomplish those same goals through the next steps of your career. Oh, yeah, not pay for a 4-year degree. Forgot about that one. College is more expensive than a boot camp, and you end up you get the same jobs when you walk out. So let's talk about community, right? Community is what's going to get you to the next place, get you to the next steps, and really help you further. I get closer when I say further, right? But I talk with my hands, so it's weird. Usually I'm typing. But the community is what's going to help you get further in your career. Take those next steps and move on after the boot camp, right? So what is a community, right? So community is a group of people that get together for a certain reason, right? They could be get together because they have a certain job, right? Maybe they work in testing software. Maybe they are iOS developers. Maybe they get together because they're all people that like to do development and they all live in St. George. Maybe they get together because they all use Java, the Java programming language, and they become a user group. Maybe they get together because they all work at the same company and they like to get together and talk about machine learning, outside of their company. And then every once in a while you'll get people that want to do Agile or Scrum communities, and talk about stuff like that, different management styles, different Kanban things, right? But it's basically a group of people with a similar interest that are wanting to further that interest. The reason they get together is kind of arbitrary, but at the end of the day, they all have some common interest, and they're all going to help each other move forward to pursue that interest, right? I hope for you guys, when you joined your boot camp, your interest was software or coding or technology, because if your interest was Oreo cookies, I don't know how DevPoint would have helped you further your love of Oreo cookies through the pandemic. I know they had snacks when they were in the building on Church and State, but I don't know how they manage their snacks remotely. Maybe Mark can help out with that one, but I don't quite know. No. But yeah, right? You get these people, they get together, they become friends, they move forward, just like, what's his name? DJ Jazzy Jeff in real life? But these two would not have careers if it wasn't for each other, right? They got together and they made their music, became best friends, and furthered each other's careers. And they're pretty cool about it. You guys are going to be super cool about it. So, what we're going to talk about for the next little... If I haven't convinced you yet to join your local community, then Mo... if I haven't convinced you yet to join your local community, I'm going to try just a little bit harder. We're going to talk about why you should join it, how you can join it, and when's a good time. My goodness. I yawn a lot when I talk a lot because I forget to breathe. And when your brain recognizes you're running low on oxygen, it triggers the yawn, which brings an influx of oxygen. I hope you all learned something today when you walk away from that. And if you only learn about your brain triggering yawning, that's good enough for me. So let's talk about why and gaining skills. So when you go to your community, you'll find lots of things happening. It's been a little bit weird with the pandemic, but things are starting to open up. Things are starting to come back in person. And you'll see things starting to be offered in the local area, right? You'll see people giving workshops for new technologies. They'll say, hey, well, I've seen this for machine learning. AI Camp or Salt Lake City AI has been doing weekly meetups where they teach new ML technologies, right? They get together, they sit down, they work through these technologies through a workshop, a virtual workshop style course, and they do it together, right? They're growing together, they're learning together, and they're workshopping these new technologies. You also have people who are in user groups, right? All of these people that use the same technology, and often some people have been using that technology their whole careers, and they're super experts. Like the people in the Java user group. Some of them have, oh my gosh. That was my old man scream. Some of them have 25 plus years experience in Java. And you have this kind of core of technology with people that are in these user groups who dedicate all of their time, their work, and their hobbies to using this technology. You'll see people in communities. I've seen this a lot on even Twitch and YouTube, right? As we keep doing this virtual stuff. Well, they'll go through and they'll say, hey, let me show you how to use VS Code. They actually have Visual Studio Code has their own Twitch channel, and they'll go through and they'll do demos of how to do Visual Studio Code. I've seen that for other AWS things. Or sometimes you'll say companies come out and say, hey, this is how we use this cool new technology. And they'll write articles about it. And they'll go give talks about it. And they'll make sure that people know, oh my gosh, how this cool open source technology works. You guys need to tell me to, I'm going to slow down. Slow down. Not yawn a little bit. Nee in Saigon is probably also yawning considering how early it is in the morning. And I bet they are additionally yawning from my need to yawn. Right? But in these communities, you have people who have learned so much, they've experimented with the new things, they have polished skills, and they're looking to share that with people, right? They're looking to help everybody else gain those same skills and grow. Skills, you'll find, end up being super high valuable in the workplace, right? You'll see, if you ever have talked to a recruiter, they're looking for buzzwords like this. They're working for buzzwords, somebody who has experience in Kubernetes, in Docker, in Go, in Java, in AWS, in cloud services, in machine learning, in data science, in JavaScript, in front end, in React, and they have all of these keywords, right? These buzzwords that they're looking for. And nobody's going to learn all of those things at work. We don't have time to do all. You're going to do a... Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness! Okay, every time I yawn, you have to comment something in the chat now. That way I know you're paying attention. But yeah, there's no way you're going to learn about all of these technologies that companies want at work. Even at those companies, you're going to only use a small subset of them. And so if you want to learn something new, if you want to gain new technologies, if you want to become more viable on the job market, then you'll have to find ways to learn these new technologies. And the community is giving them to you. People want to share what they've learned. Because sharing also makes them more viable on the job market. It's kind of a catch-22. You have to go learn about it, and then you have to share what you learn. But, like, honestly, that's how you become a better job candidate as well as a better employee, right? This idea of continually learning and continually discovering what's out there. And if I do this, then my hand becomes bigger than my face. That's kind of trippy. I feel like you had more perspective before the green screen, but now the green screen's thrown everything out of perspective. Also, the green screen on white is not super happy today. Caught my yawn. I caught my yawn. And those skills just end up bringing in money. People who have specialized skills, like Kubernetes, like cloud services, cloud architecture, machine learning, are highly valued. And like when you go to a boot camp, when you go to when you get out of school, you're gonna have a base, a generalized base of things that can help you start out. But as you move forward, those specializations is what ends up making you a more valuable job candidate down the road, and bringing in the big bucks and having this dog's got so much swagger. I could just stare at it forever with how much swagger this dog has. Meetups are also a great place. Not meetups, but the community, right? Great place to find jobs. Here's why. 1, job boards are no-goes. Why? There's 300,000 jobs on them. They're all over the world. 90 million people are going to apply to all 3,000 jobs. So you're going to end up being one person of 90 million that an algorithm is just going to sort out. And then, guess what? People that pay extra, like for Prime or sponsors or whatever on Indeed, know how many times you submitted resumes, right? So they're going to know that the person that's only submitted 3 times is not as desperate for a job, and therefore might be a better candidate than somebody who has submitted 300 times. Right? Like, job boards, they show you what's out there, but they don't help you get the job. What helps you get a job is meeting people and talking to people. Right? So in communities, you meet recruiters, you meet hiring managers, you meet people at companies. You learn what companies are doing, what they stand for, what their mission statements are. You learn what their culture's like, right, from talking to people who work there. And then you get that referral. That recruiter's going to put you at the front of the line because they talk to you. That person's going to, you'll meet somebody who works at a company and they say, hey, I'll refer you. And they put you right at the front of the line. You have that person speaking to advocate for you, getting you right there, front of the line, in the interview. You don't have to wait for a random email from a job board, like Indeed or ZipRecruiter or LinkedIn, they just don't you have to submit to 300 jobs to get one interview. Whereas opposed, if you go through humans, you can get one interview after 4 jobs. No, one interview after 4 applications. So it's a little bit higher results. It's a little bit more work, but the results are higher, and the chances of getting the job exponentially grow because you've made that connection. They remember your face. You've now become a human and not a piece of paper or a resume or a recommendation sent to you by a bot. And for those of you like me who only do this to meet people because their only social outside of jobs is talking to people at community events, you can come to meet new people, and just not people, but people with similar interests. Mark, if you're still watching, notice the picture is still the same. Notice the shirts they're wearing, the locations, and obviously the amazing marketing that you guys are not taking advantage of. You should be saying photo credit of Deaf Point Labs and have your link right under that picture on the Meetup page, because that's got to be like intellectual property or copyright or whatever. So, I've been using this slide for like 2 years, Mark, and it's always been Deaf Point Labs. Anyway, but when you meet people, when you go to these community events, when you speak at them, when you talk to the speakers, when you use their tools, you can then have you conversation, you meet people, and what ends up is you start seeing this cycle. You're seeing this cycle of what I like to call an open source community, right? Like, so with open source software or open source tools, you'll find a tool, you'll use it, you'll like it, you'll contribute to it and make it better, and then you'll tell other people to use it, right? And then those other persons starts that same cycle. They learn about it, they use it, they like it, they contribute to it, they tell people about it, they get more people interested in it. It just creates this circle of using open source tools. Well, you do the same thing with the community, right? Say you go to a community, they talk about something you really like. You tell other people about it, and they go to that same community event. Now you've got more people in that community. Now they're interested in it. Now they're going to that event, and they're contributing. They might ask a question you didn't think of, or they might be able to answer a question that you had, right? And you start getting this cycle of communities growing and building each other up, and then you're talking to people, and you're meeting new people, and those people are helping you grow in your career, as a developer, as a person, all of those things. And you receive that directly back just from going there. So, I mean, the community's great. It's literally how, personally, I see the community is the best way for you to further your career. 1 minute, I have a yawn coming, so I need to take a deep breath. I know, I feel like I have to do meditation in the middle of this. Right, so as you contribute to this open source community, and as you grow, and as the people around you grow, you'll see awesome stuff just starting to happen. And you'll find that you end up learning more than you would have been able to by reading a book or reading a Medium article or using the technology at work. So, now that I've sold you on the idea that you need to get involved in your community, let's just take a minute to talk about how. I still got 30 minutes. And I just want to let you know that if any of you have any questions from this point on about previous things, please put them in the chat. I'll get to them. We want to make sure that you guys get your questions answered, that you are enabled to leave this event and take those next steps, right? To get that job, to learn that new technology, to do whatever those next steps are for you. So if you have any questions, please put them in the chat and I'll make sure they get answered, whether they get answered in a slide or I take a break or whatever. We will make sure your questions get answered. So don't be afraid to put your questions in there. So let's talk about getting involved. First thing we're going to talk about is meetups. If you have not gone onto meetup.com before in your life, that's what you should do right now. I know you're all on your computers, or at least a phone. So meetup.com is like Facebook groups, but better focused, more searchable, and not Facebook. It's owned by WeWork, We Inc. So if you know about WeWork's crash, then you can trust Meetup however you want. But it still is one of the best places to find local events in your area for your specific interests. And they have everything. But I have not been able to find a better resource for locating tech events than Meetup. So you go there, you put in your location, and they'll bring up 100 meetups. Well, probably not as many. Probably about half as many. 50 meetups. Online or in person within a 50-mile area of whatever interests you have. They don't have to be tech, but I have not found a better resource than Meetup for technical meetups. And let's just take a break. What was that going away? Oh, see? You can't see it because my head's there. But I was going to show you anyway. But I want to, there we go. Let's escape from you. You're doing real great. Let's go to meetup.com. And we'll go to this machine learning one. This is one of the meetups I run. But I wanted to show you something really cool about Meetup. Right, so this is one of the meetups I run, the machine learning meetup. We don't have anything scheduled because nobody wants to speak because we're all scared of COVID. We are meeting in person. We are doing hybrid meetups, so we do online streaming as well as in person. We're one of the few meetups in Utah to do in person. But you'll see that Meetup also has pro groups, right? So you'll find, you can find things that get together and that will show things in the area. So this one thinks that we need the whole world to know that we have 7 groups in the Utah area. And it has upcoming things right there, right? Like this one is the same thing. I need to update that. We have the Go user group coming up next. We have this Go user group. Because this is the only one meeting in person right now. And so, but it just gives you a list of upcoming meetups. It shows you other meetups they run, right? They said they have 7 groups. You can talk to the organizer, that's Clint. And they have a whole bunch of, this is not the only one. This is just the one I'm involved in. See, and then there they all are. Utah Go, Engineering Leadership, Front-End Craftsman. What's the one in St. George? Oh, and the St. George Developer Meetup, yeah. So these are all of the meetups sponsored by this group. They have other big groups that sponsor tech meetups, like the Cloud Native Foundation has one. I bet the Linux Foundation has one. So that helps you find interests and stuff like that. But you can see now that I have it here, if we just go to my meetup, which is only tech meetups. Oh, I didn't go to that one. Oh, I did. I spoke at that one. I did. I should have said something. But as you can see, we have, I don't remember signing up for Days for Girls. But we have blockchain, Angular. I don't remember joining that one either. Obviously, they have anything. The Utah Product Hive is product-based. Shakespeare readers. These are not all of the ones I'm a part of. The SLCMI, this is the one that I mentioned was doing workshops. This is our meetup. Utah JS. So there's a lot of meetups happening. There are things people are interested in. They kind of took a little bit of a hiatus, but things are starting to open up. And one of the good things about COVID is that more people are getting involved. More people, I don't know why I said that. More meetups are being held remotely. So, my screen went black. That means it's been 30 minutes since I pressed the on button. So you could be here and turn into a stream or a Zoom meeting or a Google Meet of a meetup in New York or in California or in Canada. About whatever interest you have. It doesn't have to be local. You have a wider access to a whole ton of high quality content online. Like last Friday, I spoke at a meetup in Singapore, which is way closer to Saigon than Utah. And I was able to, they streamed it on YouTube. I was able to speak there. They used Gather Town, so I was able to hang out with people and play fake Pokemon with them after the fact. And so it was actually quite fun. But you're allowed to have high quality content from anywhere in the world, and you can attend without having it be local, which is a super huge benefit. So in Utah, I work with the Forge Utah Foundation. I'm a board member on it, and we work to provide these kinds of educational experiences through meetups and through conferences and through other community events. We do have a community Slack, which I think is on the next, there it is. We have a community Slack that you guys are more than welcome to join to learn about new events and talk with me or talk with anybody. We have meetups like the Go meetup, the machine learning meetup, the Kubernetes meetup. I'm sure we'll have more in the future, but again, COVID kind of made it weird. We also sponsor a conference that, like I said, the conference that's going to take place in October, it's a Go conference because Golang is the best programming language. Forget the yawn thing. The one thing I want you to take away from this is that Go is the best programming language. And so I think everybody should put that in the chat 4 times. Go is the best programming language. And then ask me a question. Anyway, this isn't the only local community. Silicon Slopes does stuff. There's other meetups. There's other people around. But what I like about being part of the Forge Foundation is you'll find that people who have hundreds of years of combined experience. That's true. Hundreds of years of combined experience get together and they talk about things. And I learned so much from being in a room with these people. I've only been doing this professionally for 3 years. So being in a room with people who have 100 years of combined software experience can help me learn so much very quickly. And they take time and they explain it to me and work. It really has helped me grow and grow fast. Again, why should you go to meetups? 1, you can gain new skills that'll bring you money. You can talk to people that will get you jobs. You can share what you've learned, which will help give back to the community. You can learn new things, and you can meet new people. So I would recommend everybody join the Forge Utah Slack. That way you can learn about upcoming meetups. You can learn about new technology. They post new articles all the time. They're really good at answering questions. You can talk to people about projects you're working on, and you can really start giving back to the community as it helps you. But I want to hear your questions. What makes Go better than JS? Everything. It's a compiled language. It's not runtime. It's not limited to weird frameworks like React and Angular and Vue and all of those other weird frameworks that you use to make your job hacky. The only thing that Go doesn't do better than JavaScript is web scrapers. But I still build my web scrapers in Go. Go's compiled, so you know all of your errors are taken care of. 90% of your errors are taken care of at compile time. It's super lightweight to deploy, works great on the cloud, and it does everything. It's it is a typed language like TypeScript. TypeScript is not a thing. TypeScript, not typed script. TypeScript. So it allows you to have that kind of rigidity with objects and with data. It's just better than JavaScript all the way around. Best programming language ever invented. Yeah. Is that and here we go. Here's where you can that Slack is wrong. This is the right Slack. Let's change that. Forge invite. Yeah. Oh, and this is all the Forge Utah stuff. Hey, thanks, Jake. How was the lake?
Good, I'm tired.
Okay. Good night, Jake.
I'm not going to bed.
You're gonna go to bed?
I'm not going to bed.
Oh.
I'm getting in the shower.
Jake is my nephew. He lives with me. I don't need to open the... Hi, Lulu. Hi, Lulu. Hi, Lulu. Okay, guys. What questions you got for me? Otherwise, this is going to be a really slow, boring presentation. What questions you got? What can I help you do? just gonna throw up the website for my conference. Why isn't it loading? Oh yeah, because I'm streaming on multiple platforms. What can I answer for you guys? Get that best conference ever. Only 'cause Go's the best programming language ever. I mostly say that, like, as a joke, guys. I mean, it definitely is. It's definitely my favorite, but I don't do front-end stuff ever. So obviously I don't have a reason to use JavaScript. So I apologize if my sense of humor is not being translated over the interwebs. So what questions you got? What can I answer for you? I use Vim for my code editor. Because I do Go fastest in Vim. I have it set up for Go, all that great stuff. But if I'm ever not doing Go, I usually do VS Code. I do Rust in Vim, but I might start doing it in VS Code. Just because it's easier to find the plugins in VS Code. But I really do like Vim. I really like Vim. Can you hear my nephew back there talking like he's imitating my dogs who want my Arby's. What else we got? What other questions? What can I? Are you guys excited? You gonna go find all the meetups now? You gonna come to the what, Lulu? You want to see my dogs? Hi. 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 Xcode? Full on Xcode? It's impressive. Lulu. Lulu, say hi. Lulu, I can't see you. Lulu. Oh, I guess you can't see him. I mean, your LinkedIn profile counts. But, like, everybody's going to look at your LinkedIn profile. Like, I can talk to somebody on Slack or whatever, and then I always verify their LinkedIn profile. But, you guys are not, I can't, my camera's too plugged in, I apologize, I can't show you the dogs. But they're, if you are on Twitch, let's see if we can find some pictures of them. I'll get some pictures of them on the screen. I have an emote on Twitch for the dogs, but my camera is too tied down to show you them. But what was I saying? Yes, they're always gonna check your LinkedIn at the end of the day. Look at that cute puppy. That's Lulu. She's a Bernedoodle. But at the end of the day, you're not a human person until they've met you, right? So until you've had that interview. But if you meet them external to that, right? Whether you've talked to them on Twitter or you've talked to them on LinkedIn through private message or whatever, you haven't. You're not at the front of their mind. And so that is, that's Max. That's my other dog. He's adorable. And that is what makes a huge difference. And so, this is my Twitch, the SoyP01. And now they're sitting underneath me. I wish the camera didn't have to be plugged into the power, and then I would show them to you. But there's a picture of them right there. They're adorable dogs. I don't know if I could put it in the YouTube chat. I'm sure I could find YouTube. And I could put it in the YouTube chat. Putting it in the Twitch chat's really easy because that's integrated, but YouTube chat's not integrated in the stream editor. But I'll find it for you. Yes, so it's really weird psychological thing. Why you meet them in person, and also having conversations with you. I don't know. It's just really good. It does something. How is it working on? I've never used Xcode. I used Visual Studio Code in college. So as far as working on projects in different with other coders, like working on a team, phenomenal. I would say I love pairing and I love working on a team. I love working with somebody that I can fall back on. Somebody that can help me, right? Like, I run into stuff where I just forget all the time. And it's normal. Like, we're not supposed to recommend everything. Remember anything. So having somebody on your team is great. Just, you can pair with them. You can get feedback with them. You can do PRs with them. And you can really, like, we're all human and we all have shortcomings. And it's really nice to have that person to kind of help you get through it. Like, it's super awesome. Hello. These dogs really are really good when I stream. They just sit at my feet, and it's adorable. And I might be a little bit glitchy. My computer doesn't like it when I load new things when I'm streaming on multiple platforms. But they are adorable dogs. So yeah, talking to somebody via LinkedIn is fine. But what I'm referring to is LinkedIn's job board. When I was talking about that previously, I don't think LinkedIn's job board. I think LinkedIn's job board is just like other job boards. But LinkedIn in itself is a great community to talk, virtual community for talking and getting to know people, and that's really nice. I went to college for physics. I have a degree in physics. Obviously, I don't do much with physics anymore. But I did a little bit of programming in high school. I learned about that. And then I was able to take that with me and learn a lot on the job. I've also I started going to the Go Meetup. I spoke about machine learning and data science at the Go Meetup. And after speaking at that meetup, they offered me a job. So, learning at meetups and then speaking at meetups, best way to get jobs. From personal experience. That's how they find you. Recruiters love to find you via LinkedIn. And recruiters are a little weird. But human beings, not that recruiters aren't human beings, but sometimes they don't act like it. But human beings will find you through human way connections, which is, talking to you in the community. Again, that can be a community on LinkedIn. It can also be on Reddit. Reddit has great communities. It could be on Slack. It could be on Twitter. It could be in person, which hopefully we're getting closer towards having more in-person stuff, which is super nice. Super duper nice. Did you guys want that Twitch link in the chat too? Okay, what else? What other questions you got besides why Go is the best programming language? Because it is. and you guys can hang out with me as long as you want, or start dropping off. We'll probably call it a wraps here in just a couple minutes. So before we do that, I want to thank Mark for reaching out to me. I almost didn't respond, but I did respond. I'm glad you made me do this. I really do enjoy speaking to you guys. It helps remind me why meetups are important and why I do the conferences and the meetups. I personally attend a meetup almost once a week, which is a little exuberant. It's a little excessive. Like, you don't have to do that. You don't even have to go once a month. Like, if you go once a quarter, twice a year, that'll accomplish the same the same thing. You go to meetups, you go to community events, you'll often see people saying, hey, my job's hiring. You're first in line, right? You see, we got a Twitch follow. See? Thanks, Cameron. Thanks, Tiana. Thanks, Lanny H, for that follow. Oh yeah, I was talking about how they, like, our Slack, the Forge Slack that I put in the chat on YouTube chat, has a job board internally, right? Where people from companies post stuff, and then you can DM them and talk to them about their job, talk to them about the company, see if that's a company you'd actually be interested in working for. And it just is a better experience all around. I want you guys to know I love DevPoint Labs. I do recommend DevPoint Labs over every single other boot camp in Utah. And there are a lot of boot camps in Utah. A lot. We've got V-School, we've got Lambda, whatever, we've got Helio, there's Dev Mountain, there's a whole ton of things. And I always recommend DevPoint Labs over them. One, because Mark gave me a hat. And two, because I've noticed that you guys, the people that walk out of there, are willing to keep working at the next steps, right? To find the new skills, to go to the community events, to talk to the people, and, keep working, right? You're not walking away with, right? Like, software is like very much an apprenticed skill. You learn with somebody and you keep moving. And the people that walk out of DevPoint Labs always seem to be willing to keep learning and keep growing, and that's awesome. And it's super impressive. So, no, I'm serious, Mark. I love the hat. Every time I wear it on a Twitch stream, I give you guys a shout out. I know you don't watch, but I do wear the hat a lot. And the shirts. I have 2 shirts from Mark as well. I did not take the fake glasses, though. So DevPoint Labs is definitely my favorite boot camp, and I will continually tell people it's the best boot camp. Yeah. So do we have any more?
Go give me food.
Okay, bye, Jake.
Bye.
Jake's my nephew. He's not learning software. He's also not going to a boot camp. But he lives with me and he's going to college. Just so you know who that strange man that walks around is. He's my nephew. And he's 20. So yeah, any other questions? I would love to answer some more questions before we wrap up. Other than that, I would tell everybody, did I get rid of, I hope you all have a good night. I hope you all have a good, I thought you were, everybody from DevPoint Labs, I hope you have a good graduation. I heard that you're graduating soon. I hope I see you guys at meetups or at jobs or something in the future. I hope everybody comes to my conference because it's the best conference in the entire world. Because Go is the best programming language in the entire world. And yeah. Cool. Well, if that's all we got, I'm going to go ahead And I will, we'll call it a night. I hope to see you guys again in the future. Okay. Bye, guys.